Take a look at our sports segment this week, and well, we're changing the focus a little bit this week. We're looking at something integral to success within team sports. That's team identity, ethos, and vision. Now, sports psychologist, sports fan, eye-to-eye partner, Julian Hunt is with us almost every week now, and he's here to look at some examples and successes. Good morning, Julian.
Morning, Ewan. How are you doing?
Very good.
Good.
What is the common characteristic that successful teams have?
Well, I think, Ewan, first and foremost, great teams have a great team identity. And when we talk about team identity, it's all around attributes. What are the attributes of a really great team? Attributes drive behavior, and those behaviors ultimately drive performance.
In the South, let's look at a team that's kind of in the news right now. MTN Kubeka, who's at the Tour de France. They've done so well. What is it for you that stands out about this team?
Well, again, they're not just about a cycling team. They stand for so much more, and that is quite evident throughout their ethos of a cycling team. They're starting to attract and recruit the right cyclists. Some of the best cyclists around the world have shown interest in joining this team. They're not just there to make up the numbers. As a team, they're carrying the hopes of not only a nation from South African perspective, but obviously from an African perspective. Every budding young cyclist who doesn't know they're a budding young cyclist as yet, this will be an inspirational vision for the future.
Why are they team identity, ethos, and vision? Why is it so important at the top level?
Well, we always talk about marginal gains when we talk about the top level. So
yeah.
on paper, most teams look very, very similar from a technical perspective. So the team ethos is what sets you apart. You can't start talking about marginal gains before you've set up the cultural foundation of the team. So culture is king. And what culture really is it's the glue that pulls people together.
Bring that back to the corporate world. Bring it back to say, an editor leading a team of journalists, or a marketing executive leading a sales team. Culture is king. How does it play out in the corporate world?
Yeah, absolutely. So shared vision. Shared vision would be the first thing we talk about from a corporate perspective as well as a sporting perspective. Do we have the shared vision? Do we have the right attributes? Are we bringing the right people on board? And how that plays out in a corporate environment when we're talking about team and cultural.
So generally speaking, the most basic need of the human being is to belong.
That's it. And
if you can understand it and maybe celebrate that, you can have success.
Absolutely. And when you're trying to galvanize a team and pull a team together, we often use a very well-known and it's an old model, but it's a very applicable model, the Maslow's hierarchical model of success. And we spend lots of time on creating that engagement and ultimately driving self-actualization. Once you've got team members who belong, have a self-belief, they can then move to not only an individual self-actualization, but as a team, they can galvanize and move forward as well.
The Springboks, they run out onto the field. Tomorrow they play Australia. We're going to a World Cup. We're supposed to be wearing our Springbok jerseys today, says the minister. How do you view the culture within the Bok team right now? How do you view that ethos? And then the messaging that comes out of the team. I watched an Australian commentator said something yesterday that they can't believe that the coach would be breaking the confidence of his own players, especially young players. A guy like Andre Pollard, who he's openly criticizing in the media.
Well, I mean, let's be careful what the Australians have to say the day or two before a big clash. I think
actually it was a New Zealander.
Was a New Zealander, but the Springbok ethos has always been one of success. There's a psychological concept called the Rosendahl effect, which really is around the expectation placed on an individual or a team dictates the way they perform. So if we look at Bafana and we look at the Springboks, the expectation on the Springboks dictates their culture. They only select the best, and the history plays a massive role. So if you're putting on the number 10 jersey, you're comparing yourself to greats of the past. And that ethos needs to be relayed throughout.
So he's starting as underdogs tomorrow. What's your call?
No, I think my call is a good one for the Springboks. I think the Boks by more than 5. I it's going to be a tough conditions, but I think we're going to be ready for the Aussies tomorrow.
Well, I think there might be an upset on the card if we look at what the pundits are saying. The bookies have made us underdogs. Julian says us by a comfortable margin. Thanks for coming in this week again, Julian. Give us unique insights. Isn't it nice to get high-level input into something that we all think we know about? Thanks, Julian.
Awesome. Thanks, Stephen.
Now,